Here it is at long last, your long anticipated video review in the spotlight of the reviewing station of the Power of the Primes, Throne of the Primes box set, which is none other than a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, which you're going to pay an arm and a leg to get a hold of one of these, at least at this point now, because as far as I know, even though the pre-orders did go up on Hasbro's Toy Shop for this set, I think they're sold out now, so you're going to have to pay the scalper fees on eBay, so good luck with that. Anyway, if you want it, there's options. But regardless, this is just pretty much what you may already have if you have somehow scattered across the world and had discovered the exact location on where to pick up the leader class OPTIMUS from Wave 2 or 3 of Power of the Primes. I seem to forget because it took me a while to finally complete Wave 2 of the deluxes of that series. Still haven't been able to find any of the Voyagers, which is just so awkward. Anyway, let's stay on topic and let's talk about the packaging because, believe it or not, I am not going to review this. I'm not taking this out. I know there are a lot of people out there that's already reviewed this set. They've given their points on it. And you know what? More power to them. If you feel like checking out their videos, by all means, go ahead and do it. But I am not taking this thing out of the box. I'm just going to let you see what it is from here within the box, except for the fact that the figure has been removed. It is cardboard, basically. It's like the backdrops that come with the Studio Series figures. So, you know, it is what it is. But I have to say, I mean, if you're paying the extra price to get the set just because of, you know, cardboard, I don't think that actually equals out the balance of what you're paying for what you get with the quality of this set. I'm just being honest here. You might want to wait until the price drops, if it ever does drop, but again, this being a convention exclusive, the price may not drop. Instead, it's just going to go up. So, pick your poison, people. Anyway, let's take a look at the packaging as per take of every single video review on this channel. You thought I may not say that, huh? Anyway, we'll start from the top this time around. We got the Misaligned Generations logo at the top right corner. We got Transformers going down here with some vines wrapping around the R, you know, because a jungle theme. It's Optimus Primal or Optimal Optimus, whichever way you want to call him. Even though in Beast Wars, they never actually did call this mode Optimal Optimus. They always called him Big Bot or just Primal. Right. So where did Optimal Optimus come from? Except that the episode title was called An Optimal Situation, if I'm not mistaken. Right, back to the topic. Anyway, here's Power of the Primes, Throne of the Primes, HSA Plus, Hasbro's logo. Note to Karatomi, this is not dual branding, even though they will be picking up this set eventually. I think it's sometime next year they'll be releasing this for those overseas that couldn't go to Comic-Con, and I couldn't go to Comic-Con, but hey, I mean, it is what it is, right? So anyway, on this side here, we got Power of the Primes with a bunch of vines wrapping around the logo, and we got some kind of scarring going on here. Yeah, somebody's been sledging at the walls, maybe Freddy Krueger. No, that ain't Freddy Krueger, man, that's Wolverine. Wolverine! No, I'm just kidding. Right, okay, on this side here, we got Power of the Primes, Choose Your Prime. You've got pretty much showcasing here the Prime Masters that you get out of this set, which is 4 exclusives, and I forgot their name already, and they're not even mentioned down below. So, you know, your guess is as good as mine, but I will showcase the rest of the Prime Masters. So, there you have all the Prime Masters, which I don't even have 1/3 of this. 1/3, is that even the right way to say it? I don't think so. Anyway, let's just say I'm not even 25% in on that set, but yep. Here's Optimal Optimus, Scepter of the Sparks, which they're talking about this thing, and yep, very nice artwork. I love it. It's pretty cool. I really wish the glares were gone. I can do whatever I can to try to get rid of it. There you go. Not much else to say, except that it's fantasy scene. Yeah, this is some nice artwork. I really do like this. This is so cool. But that's pretty much going to be it, unless you want to see the top of the packaging here with the nice Maximal symbol. Pretty cool. I like the fact that they show a little respect there, rather than it being an Autobot logo on the side of the open window packaging. You get the reference. That's it for the packaging. Right. So, anyway, we're here to review a toy, so let's bring in the toy. So, here is Monkey Man. Right. We'll put aside Monkey Man for a moment. And we'll bring in Optimus Primal, which is pretty much the heart of the system here. So, what you got is pretty much what you see here. It's a very difficult figure to stand up, at least on this platform, because it's slanting back. It's like a downhill thing going on here. We do have some other contests that we need to go through before I take a look at these figures, so I don't even know why I brought them in the first place. How unprofessional of me. Anyway, there you go. We got the instruction manual, which is very, very well done. I will be honest, and I do like the fact that this is actually printed in color this time around. Kind of makes me wish that Hasbro would just say, screw it, let's make all the instruction manuals from this point forward in a very nice color scheme, so you can actually see what the heck you're actually doing here. So yeah, I mean, there's not much else to really show off here. It is what it is. It's an instruction manual, but I've already done a how-to Transformers video on this set, so feel free to check it out. If it's up here, maybe it's down here, somewhere around here, the link's gonna show up. Yeah, anyway, there you go. Here's some more Power of the Prime stuff, basically Prime Masters, showcasing, describing what they are, all 13 of them, which, you're welcome. There you go. That's it. Okay, there's that, and then of course we got the very nice artwork on the very nice collector's card in the very nice styled plastic wrapping, which this is really, really high quality. This feels good. Right, so anyway, Optimal Optimus, or Optimus Primal, your preference. And then we got the 13th Prime Master, which we will take a look at in just a moment. Maybe in about half an hour or so. Optimal Optimus, the Matrix of Leadership chooses Optimus Primal to be the next bearer with the increased strength and wisdom bestowed upon him by the Matrix. Optimus Primal evolves to Optimal Optimus and leads the Cybertronian, leads Cybertron, yeah, twit. Right, so, leads Cybertron into a new era of peace and happiness. That is what Hot Rod said, right? New age of peace and happiness. Ah, forget it. Well, I'll never find that card again. That went flying somewhere across the bed, right? Okay, anyway, back to the figures now. So we're like almost 8 minutes into the video by now. So, yep, here he is. Now, it's pretty much one and the same. It's as identical as the retail release of Optimus Primal here. Get out of the picture. You're taking away the focusing of the frame on the figure himself. And it's a very nice, very CGI accurate head sculpt. I mean, this is definitely Optimus Primal from Season 1 of Beast Wars. Perfectly matches. Almost masterpiece quality here in such a small scale. It's so good. So clean of paintwork, and it should be for the price you're asking for, Hasbro, from this exclusive. I mean, come on. Anyway, we got stickers. We got a Maximal sticker, which is pretty nice. I gotta be honest. I like the foil. It works when it works in places where it's supposed to be, unlike Power of the Prime Starscream. I said it. Right. Anyway, the only real key difference about this figure and the retail release, which I do not have, unfortunately, because I can't find the bloody thing, is that we have a little bit of some tweaking here and there in the color scheme. What would be completely silver down here is actually painted pretty nicely. I mean, this is very clean work, as again, it should be. We got some blue, we got some of that gray, and we got more gray, and it just looks good. I really do like that. Maybe this would actually be silver on the retail release, and instead it's actually that dark gray that's being used for his crotch section, which, you know, it does work. It looks really good. The figure overall is quite impressive, except for, you know, all the junk going on in the back, not really in the trunk, but just this whole backpack thing. And I get it. It's because of the design of this thing and what it's supposed to become, which is kind of slap in the face in all honesty, but again, this is supposed to be a figure that's representing every single transformation of the character from Beast Wars from seasons 1 through 3, which is, it's quite a feat of impressive. I mean, I just can't say anything else about it. So it is what it is. At least the figure is able to stand up just fine if he wasn't on this, but I mean, he would stand up just fine because of these really, really nice heel spurs. Very nice. What we got here are his blasters, which On the instructions, they say that he's supposed to be holding them like clubs or something, which is stupid. What you can do is you can pop them in his hands like they're supposed to be cannons, which makes sense. Even though the sticker should be on the outside here, I just put them in the wrong hands. Deal with it! But yeah, really nice. I like that. Just doesn't have any weapon storage in this mode. Well, okay, never mind. He lies! Actually, I just learned this. You do have this. So, I guess you can say he does have weapon storage on his back. But that might make the figure just a little bit heavier. Yeah, you see he's wobbling now. So, yeah. Right. So, let's just go ahead and take those out anyway, because we'll see them again very shortly. And let's go for the articulation on this figure. So, he does have a swivel head, no ball joint, just because it is what it is. We do have a hinge joint here for some swiveling in and out at the arms or the shoulders. We do have a hinge joint for inward and outward movement there. No bicep swivel, but we do have a ball joint to make up for that. We do have 90 degrees of bend on that ball joint as well. Nothing at the wrist. Nothing at the waist due to transformations to be expected. We do have ball jointed legs that get this much kicking forward. This much going back, which is back to a normal stance because of this thing here. Time to test it. Let's see. No! Not nearly the split that you could actually ask for. So, unfortunately, no JCVD quality here. Bring it in. Sorry, guys. It is what it is, right? Anyway, we do have a 5 swivel joint, which is nice. We do have double jointed knees. See? Double jointed. Very tight on mine, which I do appreciate. And that's your articulation. I mean, you got nothing at the feet because of the way that it's sculpted. So no hinge joint for up and down movement. No ankle rocker pivot, which I know. Real bummer. And yeah, every time I go about moving his arms, his shoulder pads like to come down with him because, again, it's a very, very tight connection. But overall, I do like this figure. And man, oh man, have we talked a lot about this guy. But we're not done there because we do have another mode for this figure, so let's go ahead and do it. But you know what? I'm just going to say screw it, since I've already done the how-to Transformers video on this guy like I mentioned earlier. We'll just fast forward to transformation. So here is Optimus Primal in his hoverboard mode, or spaceship, whichever one you want to call it. Potato, potato, tomato, tomato. I know that doesn't make any sense, but just deal with it anyway. So anyway, we do have the matrix of leadership here, which I forgot to show off. It's very nice. The difference is basically the color scheme from the retail release, as we got some red here and some white for the handles. On the retail release, I believe this is a blue, if I'm not mistaken. Blue chamber with dark gray probably for it. I'm going to have to go back and look at the thing. Again, I don't have the figure, so I can't show you the difference. But anyway, somebody will. Right, so we do have a seat for like a Titan Master if you want to put one in there. But as you can see, we also got this big gaping hole here, which will just fall right out. Sad, but true. Right. So anyway, what you can do is you can put the Matrix back in here. And actually, it was just the spark of Optimus Prime. But this is a nice recreation. It's an inspiration. I get it. I get it. I love the reference. It's very nice. But, again, solid bit of plastic with some nice details on it. Some very nice exclusive stickers as well. These are totally different from the actual retail release, as you can see. Very nice. Very good. And they seem to be pretty flat. None of the corners seem to be peeling up just yet, so I'm quite amazed. Right. But there's also a reason for this thing. Let's take this gorilla. Now let's go ahead and tab him in here, as I showed off in the instructional video of the transformation of this guy. And, wow, we already butchered this one pretty bad. I did not have that tabbed in too well. This is not working out as planned, but I got it to hold up. Yeah, I don't have it tabbed in on this side. As you can tell, his feet are spread out way too far, too close up to the cockpit itself. And the whole reason why is because, if you don't know by now, that head is Optimal Optimus right there. And if it gets pegged in all the way into that slot, you're going to have a hard time getting it out. And if I put his feet tabbed into this area right here, it's going to push down the head. And I can't have that, because I'm not going to take half an hour to figure out what am I going to use next to get his head back out. Right, so anyway, well, let's go ahead and take off the surfboard here, which is tight. Yeah, there we go. And we'll go ahead and remove this for a moment. We'll bring him back in just a moment because there's another mode with Optimus Primal for Monkey Man here. But anyway, for Optimus in his gorilla form, it is what it is. It's basically as simplistic as the original Optimus figure from Beast Wars, which was a very cool figure in which I really regret selling him. But hey, who's to say I'll never get him again? But anyway, still pretty cool. I love the color scheme. Working here with the Season 1 of Beast Wars for Optimus Primal, this color scheme just works so much better. It's leaps and bounds better than the actual Optimus color scheme that we had in Season 3 of Beast Wars, which was replicated to his action figure. And may I also mention no chrome, so no chipping. Perfect. Right. So anyway, let's take a look at his head sculpt here. Now, I don't know how well this is going to come out. I mean, my camera's showing it pretty good, but, you know, as I go about rendering this, it could all change. But I think you can see his eyes pretty well. I mean, they're so far back, it's like really hard to see. They're not black. They're actually a very navy blue color. But they are painted, which I do appreciate, and it looks really good. I like the head. Very, very nice. Chest is really nicely painted as well. It's that gray paint, but hey, it looks good. It works the part. We do have some stickers on the side here of his shoulders for the Maximal icon on all four, as you can see, from the two on the back and the two in the front, which they didn't have to do that, but it's that nice attention to detail that I do appreciate. We do have screws, as a matter of fact, here on this side, but it's to be expected. Right. So as I go about moving his arms here, we do have some more stickers here, which this one is kind of peeling up just a little bit, but it's not rubbing me the wrong way. The only thing it is that scratch right there. Right there. That's a pain in the butt, right? But outside of that, not much else to really say, except, holy crap, he's freaking hollow in the back. Right. There is a way to resolve that situation, and that's where this comes into play. Now that I untabbed it the proper way, not this way, what you can do is you can fold this all back like this, and then there's this little tab here and little tab here that's going to go into these little grooves right here. And why am I showing this off? I've already done that, but hey, I'll do it one more time just because I love you guys. I don't take that too far, but anyway, tab it in at the bottom. Go retrieve what fell off. Now, this piece here is driving me insane because it likes to pop off so much. It makes me worry about it. Maybe there's stress marks on it. Maybe it's bending out of shape. I don't know. I'll check it out later. And we can take his cannons and we can plop them at the top if you want to, or you can plop them right here for storage. But hey, there you go. Now he's got some weapons for maximum, or should I say maximal firepower. Yeah. Ha 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 ha. Right. Looks really good. And it does complete the look of the guy, and he does have quite some heft with that in place. The only thing that kind of rubs me the wrong way is just this area down here. It does hinder so much movement of his legs, which you really don't get much anyway in the articulation of this mode. But just the fact that all this down here just gets too far down just looks so bad unless you're looking at him from the front and then you don't even see it at all. Anyway, we do have some articulation on this figure's mode, so let's go about it. We do have a swivel for the head. We do have a hinge joint for up and down movement, which if you got this plugged in, this is about as much as you get. If you take it out, you can get it all the way in due to transformation. We do have a hinge joint, and another hinge joint, and another hinge joint. And then we've got a hinge joint right here for the wings. We do have a swivel joint. We do have an elbow joint. Does get 90 degrees of bend. When that's not all, we do also have a swivel joint for the hand, a swivel or hinge joint for the thumb, and then we got a hinge joint for the fingers, which you don't really see from Hasbro's Transformers, but hey, it's very nice. Right. Okay, so down here we do have a waist swivel joint, but it's locked into place, but you can kind of see it moves a little bit. just a little bit, but if you unlock this, then you get it all. There you have that. You do have a hinge joint for up and down movement here at his legs, and you do also have a hinge joint for inward and outward movement, which, to be graded, yes, you do get your full JCVD split of quality. There it is. Right. Okay, so with that, we also have a swivel joint, which you're not going to get much out of it, but you do get a fair range. It does work. And you do have an option to untab this if you want a knee joint, but the instructions say otherwise. It is an option. It's your choice. Do what you want with your toy. You do have a hinge joint for up and down movement at the feet, which also does include beautiful ankle rocker pivot. Beautiful. I'll say it again. Beautiful. Love it. Look how far we can get this guy to split out. Look at that. Very nice. That's actually a nice pose. I should use that for the thumbnail of the video, but I've already selected my thumbnail. Pretty generic one at that. So, there you have Optimus in his gorilla form. Completely his gorilla form. I love it. I love this mode. It's so cool. And we'll do a side-by-side comparison, so I'm not going to forget that. So, the only other figure that I really brought with me is Moonracer. Right? So, as you can see, he towers over her, which makes sense, you know. I guess it makes sense. I mean, it's a car, Cybertron car at that, but yeah. Where am I going with this? Anyway, we do have some other things that we need to look at now, so let's go ahead and untab this and slot it out. And we'll go ahead and take Optimus from his gorilla mode to his next step in the transformation. And that is, nonetheless, the jet mode. Right. So what we want to do is, I'm not going to show this. I've already done it. What's the point? We're going to jump cut. Now, I'm going to re-demonstrate this just to let you guys know that maybe I didn't explain this too well in the how-to transformer video. So, here's a second chance at this. What you want to do in this section for the jet mode is you want to untab so you can free up his knee joint, and there's nowhere for it to actually lock in, but this is the way it is. You want to straighten this all out, actually. You don't want it angled like this. If you do, you'll never get the backpack put in place. So, let's go ahead and untab this one here and get it straightened up as well. Fold down the back fins because they will get in the way. And there is nowhere for this to actually tab in. The whole connection point of this mode is pretty much what you're seeing right here. It's the backpack. You got that tab, you got that slot to coordinate with that tab right there and that slot right there. And then you got these two back tabs right here, which may be a little thicker than what they should be to actually fit into these slots right here. Those are your connection points. So if you got this all lined up just right, try and get this to tab in into the back here. And I know the thruster should actually be facing outward, but this is just the way it is. It's the only way to get this to lock in. Forget it. Anyway, that's how it's supposed to be tabbed in. Not like that. I mean, they're supposed to be tabbed in. My advice, guys, I mean, if it really comes down to it, file these tabs down. They're too thick. They don't fit in there too well. File them down, or better yet, just super glue the blasted thing. I don't care. It's your figure. Do what you want. Then again, you'll never be able to transform it again. But at least you won't have to be driven to insaneness because of these freaking tabs that just won't hold in place. Regardless, though, at least for my figure, I have the option to do this because it is a pretty tight connection by those two tabs. Some people don't have that flavor. I do. So yeah, it's very tasty. Anyway, this is pretty much your jet mode as people would have it. But I don't like doing that. I like doing like the original Optimus. I like taking the arms and bringing them out just so much more, where this actually looks much more mechanical because of these joints here. And this is what it really is supposed to look like. This very much looks really good. It's a really, really nice mode. And yes, there is a bit of hindrance because of the whole transformation or the gimmick as a whole because of Optimus Primal up here. It doesn't look too good, but thanks to the fact that this figure is painted in a cohesive style, I mean, you don't have like a bright orange with the blue and the burgundy for the shoulders and all that, just breaking up colors and all that. I mean, this does look very cohesive, which is all I could really ask for, and that's why this actually looks really good. So, there you have that. So, with the jet mode out of the way, there's only one other thing that we need to look at by attaching this. And of course, we could go through the whole transformation here, but I'm not going to do it. All I need to do now is just tab everything in. You got those two slots right there. It's going to coincide with these two tabs right here as you go about lining this up just right. Tab it all in like so. Come back here, lift this whole section up until you have that pin right there, that annoying pin which you can't actually see, but it's right there all the way up. Get that to tab in just right. Push as good as you can. That way it all stays locked into place, which I seem to fail out. Let me try again. Again, it's that pin right there. You gotta get it up all the way and then tab it in. Try to get that to hold in. Much better. It's not perfectly secured. It will come undone at times, especially when you go about messing with the figure, but it's holding for now, so I'm not going to bother with it. Get that tab in just right. Last thing to do is to pop out his head as I raise the camera so you can see this, because he's pretty big. He should be. He's big bought. Get this to untab and then rotate around, and there he is in his Optimal Optimus mode. And, you know, the color scheme really does work really good for this figure. That's what I really do appreciate about this whole entire piece, is the color scheme, the redeco. You think it wouldn't work, but it does work. The Beast Wars Season 1 colors of Optimus Primal on Optimal Optimus works perfectly. It is so much better than what we actually got from Optimal Optimus back then. It's that good. And it makes me wonder what this really would have looked like in its color scheme if they had kept it from Season 1 Optimus Primal to the CGI form of him as Optimal Optimus in Season 3. I wonder what that would have looked like with this color scheme. Well, this does work in the toy mode, but would it work on the actual cartoon itself? I don't know. Even though the transformation is a little incorrect, according to the instructions, you're supposed to angle down these shoulder bits like that and then bring it in. Do the same here. I mean, it's your toy. Display it however you want. Transform it however you want. Just make sure it's good enough. And there we go. Now he's perfect. Right. He's really big. I can't get him all on camera. I'm trying my best here. But if I push him any further back, I'm not going to be able to grab the figure anymore because he'll be out of reach. So, there you have it. I mean, it's Optimal Optimus. It looks really good. Really good. Even the backpack actually looks pretty good. It's not too big, and it's not too much of an eye catch here. I mean, as you can see, again, the color scheme that they went with here, it all is a very cohesive piece. It really does work. It matches up really good. And if you want to, you can also take his cannons here. You can have the option to pop them in here at the top, which of course they'll be angled up as if he's shooting a little higher up than where he would be aiming, which would be straight forward. It's an option. You can also lower his chest piece down like so, and on this hinge here, tab it in like that. And what you can do next is you can also take this peg here and put it in this hole here, and you can recreate the Beast Wars action figure back from 1998, was it? Something like that? I don't know. I didn't have the figure back then, but yep, there you go. Oh, you can also raise this up just a little bit more to make it just look a little more flush, and there you have it. I mean, that definitely does recreate the action figure, even though you don't have the lights or the missile firing feature, which is a thing of the past nowadays with Hasbro's Transformers. Missile firing features? Really? Anyway, what you could also do, I mean, if you want to, you can peg it in right here, and you can have, like, shoulder-mounted cannons. It's a thing. It is a thing you can do. No one else has actually done that. I believe I'm the first one to actually show that off, but that's a thing. And if you want to, you can also combine the two weapons, like so, have a bigger rifle, And yes, I know the whole song and dance, but I got to show it off anyway. We got that hole right there where it shouldn't be to actually connect the gun, like so. Yeah, I know, it's goofy, it's silly looking, it does not look good. Okay, well, maybe from this side you really can't notice how far out it actually is from the hand, so it does kind of look okay from this view. But when you're viewing Transformer figures from the front, look how silly that is. I really wish that there was like a tab or something that could actually slot into his hand here and just have him hold it like a normal gun. I mean, just like that would have been just the icing on the cake. But as it is, they didn't know what they were doing at this point here. They were just trying things. But we have third party to thank for fixing this crisis. Just to show this off here before we get to the other event of this figure. And here's Volcanicus at long last. Right, took me a while to get him complete. And as you can see, Volcanicus definitely towers over this leader class figure, but that makes sense since this is 4 combiners or deluxe combiners with a Voyager in the middle making up the torso. So yeah, it makes sense he'd be bigger. So there you have that. Okay, so next up, we'll go through the articulation on the guy real quickly. So we do have a swivel head. Unfortunately, no ball joint, but then again, it probably would snap at the instant of trying to pull this head out in the first place. Because again, very tight connection. I don't know what could be done about that. If anyone's got a solution, feel free to let me know down below in the comment section of the video. Anyway, we also have swivel joint here. We've got the very nice clicking hinge joint here. You also got your hinge joint here for more inward and outward movement. You do have a bicep swivel joint. You do have single jointed elbows that does get more than 90 degrees of bend, which is very nice. You do have also a swivel joint here. At the hands, you got your individual, well, not really individual, but you got your hinge joint for the fingers here, and then you got your hinge joint for the thumb. That's not all. We do have a waist swivel joint as I go about moving it and untabbing this thing again. We do also have some nice kicking forward, some nice kicking going back here with this gets out of the way. Let's see if we do have it. Do we have it? Do we have it? Yes, we do. We got our full-on JCVD split. Actually, as I raise it up, we got more. Ah, that's very impressive. I love it. Right. Okay, so we do have a swivel joint at thigh section. We got single jointed knees that does get 90 degrees. Actually, a little more than 90 degrees of bend. Look at the angle. Look at the angle. And then we got the hinge joint for up and down movement at the feet, which also includes that beautiful, beautiful ankle rocker pivot. Let's go ahead and test that sucker. If we can get Optimal Optimus to stand up just right. And I will admit that this figure, he's not really back heavy. He just has some loose connections here and there that I need to tighten up, maybe with a screwdriver or something. Maybe with a little ounce of future floor polish or something like that. But, yeah, that's about as far as they can split and stay flat on the ground. That's pretty good. I'm not complaining. It's really good. So, regardless, as I go about getting this all reconnected here for maybe the 45th time, which you haven't actually seen on screen, and thank God for that. The only other thing to really show off here would happen to be the exclusive Throne of the Prime stuff. I mean, you got your Prime Masters inside the Scepter of Sparks. Odd name of choice, but hey, it is what it is. You can also take them out, just like this. You want to bend them, like so. And get them to pull out like so. Just bend them. Their head should come undone from underneath the cavity section, and then their feet should untab as you bend them, like so. And bend it like so. There we go. Take a lesson in this, Bandai America. It's time for a gold rush. Yeah, eat your heart out, Legacy Collection. But then again, you don't have to worry about it anymore. So, what we can do is we can take it and tab it into his hands like so. It doesn't really tab into place, but it does stay in there pretty good since his fingers are not on the loose side of things. So, he does hold it really nice. It's really good. I like the way that looks, but let's put the icing on the cake of this figure and give him his crown of leadership, I guess. It's got a maximal symbol, which is very nicely painted. Some nice paint details all around it. And I love the fact that it's painted completely in gold paint, right? Not gold plastic, because I still worry about that even to this day. So anyway, what we can do is slide it on top, and there we have Optimus as king of the all Transformers, I guess. It is what it is, right? So, yeah, it's a really good set. I mean, it's so cool. What else can I really say about it? I've given my 2 thoughts on it now, but I'll just go ahead and show off the Prime Masters real quickly, and I forget their names, so I'll just show them off. Show off their, you know, this thing here. I don't know what you would call it, crystal, I guess. But this is the 13th Prime Master, the very last one. He's exclusive to this set only, as far as I know. There's not going to be a single carded release with a Pretender armor, which is a bit disappointing, but hey, anything could turn around with War for Cybertron. They may actually release this figure again, not being an exclusive, maybe for a retail release, and, you know, bada bing, bada boom. Right, so anyway, we do have the other 3 here. So here's the other Prime Master, which, again, names aside, I'm giving you everything that I can here, by the best of my knowledge. Right, I could look at these up if I wanted to, but I just don't have time to do it. This video is as long and dragged out as far as I'm gonna go. So, you know, it's really cool how these Prime Masters can actually attach to the staff, but it does add a little more heft. And this figure, you know, he's great, but he's not perfect. He does have a tendency to have his arm droop down as heavier as the staff comes. So when I have all the Prime Masters put in place on the Scepter of Sparks, his arm does like to drop a lot because it is kind of on the loose side there. But as long as the Prime Masters are not put in place, he does hold it pretty good without any problems. I'm actually quite surprised about that. There's one other thing that I need to show off before I forget, and yes, I know someone's going to say it, so I'm going to show it off. What you can do, as I go about picking up the figure again, because again, he's on the loose side, but you got, just like the original Beast Wars figure, you got these tabs right here, go into those slots right there on the top of the shoulder here. I'm only going to do one just to say I did it, so... Right, I'll take my participation trophy and be done with it. So anyway, as you can see, you can tab him on the top and make his shoulders a lot bigger than what they should actually be. Yeah, it's okay. You know, it does harken back to the original Beast Wars figure, and I understand. Again, Hasbro put a lot of time and effort into making this an all-in-one as much as they could, regardless of the fact that they really could have found a way to give him his alternate transportation mode, being that weird-looking Cybertronian vehicle. There was a way they could have put that into this execution, but unfortunately, I guess they didn't have the budget for it. But they did offer a lot coming from this set. And, you know, again, it's just the real difference in this whole set is basically just the redeco of the color of this figure. The color palette, it's so much better than the actual retail release. It's just, it works. Everything about it works. The backpack really doesn't bother me like the actual retail release does because of the color scheme. Everything just works one another. It's so cohesive. I just love the set. I mean, regardless of some QC issues here and there that I need to take time and figure out what I can do about it, I really think that this is actually worth picking up. Now, if you can't get the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, I understand, okay? It's not the end of the world unless you really need the Scepter of Sparks and that very nice-looking crown that I'm sure Starscream would probably be jealous of. Yeah, go for the retail release if you can find it, because again, at this point, we're getting to the point where we're going to start seeing more promotions for War for Cybertron action figures. I mean, there's still time for Power of the Primes to make a complete turnaround and start showing up. But regardless, I think this is pretty much the whole song and dance as it comes, because I've only got a few more figures out of Power of the Primes that I need to review, and I think that's as far as I'm going to go, because even though there's a lot more to come, I just feel like that maybe the peak of interest has pretty much hit its highest point and now it's starting to slope down because of the announcement of War for Cybertron. So I'm right up there with you guys in the fact that I really don't care about Power of the Primes anymore. But if you want me to review the figures that I do have, by all means, just let me know down below in the comment section of the video. And I think I have gotten everything all said and done about this figure. I don't think I've missed anything. If I did, feel free to let me know down below in the comment section of the video by telling me how much of a doofus I am. It's so unprofessional of me not to take the time to look at the instructions completely thoroughly, just so I can get everything all situated in one video, which was hard to create. You can obviously tell by the tone of my voice. So questions and comments, you know what to do. Hit it down below in the comment section of the video. If you like today's video review, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to give me a sub up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. Don't forget to throw in the towel. And until the next video review, this is the Unprofessional Toy Reviewer, Red's Power, signing off, saying thank you very much for watching this regardless. And I'll see you whenever you see me.